Christine, my sister, had suggested 20 years ago that 28 years ago, when she knew about this disease and she knew that eventually I would lose both my kidneys, she told me that she would eventually give me her kidney, but since I was kind of pushing it back because she's younger than me, her family is younger, she was living in another country, and I was kind of reticent or not too keen on receiving the kidney from a live donor, especially someone close to me. I was just waiting for the occasion to come from a deceased donor. Up to a point where I was becoming more and more weak. The dialysis was not working at its most, and of course my family was noticing it. I was very extinct, and one night in a dinner with my brothers, Christine was not there since she lives in Toronto. Jean-Marc asked me, but wouldn't it change everything if I gave you my kidney?
For a person in my position, and it would be the case for anyone in a family where someone needs a transplant, you tend to wait. That's what you do. You say, the guy's on a list, we'll see what happens. So you wait. And that's probably a mistake because, first of all, the wait can be long. In this case, it was at least a year before we, the family, realized that it was, beginning to, it was 4 times a day, 5 times a day on this dialysis thing. It takes away your life, really. And so the choice was just to go in and make it simple, make it simpler, just, cut to the chase. It's as easy as that, as far as I'm concerned. And then in a family, some people have better health than others. I'm talking, regular things such as cholesterol levels, that sort of thing. I didn't know what kind of a health I was in, but I was going to find out. And, they really check you out from top to bottom. And it seemed like everything was okay. So the process was about 8 months. And after 8 months, I was eliminated for a stupid kidney stone the size of a sand grain. By the way, I should add that most people whom I've told this story to said, well, if you had a kidney stone, what were you doing there in the first place? Couldn't they just, eliminate you from the start? The thing is, they go looking for what everybody might suffer from. High pressure, cholesterol, that sort of thing. Not everybody has kidney stones. So they go wide. Compatibility is first of all, and then they narrow it down. And these stones were found in my kidney after a MRI scan. Is that how it's said, MRI? And so that's why, ironically enough, the problem was found towards the end of the process rather than in the beginning. It's because it was a complicated operation to, And then again, when they spotted it, it was at the very, very last minute. They weren't even looking for that. They were looking for the architecture of my irrigation system towards the kidneys, as far as veins and arteries go. And they weren't looking for that at all. They found it by happenstance. I could have flushed that stone the same night, urinating, and I would have been okay, but.
Right after that, Christine, my sister, got involved in starting the process herself. And I told Christine, and we had this agreement that I told her that if I had another call, I would accept the kidney from a deceased donor. And so she went through the whole testing.
As Serge mentioned, 28 years ago, when he first got diagnosed with the Berger syndrome, I had said, that I would have, if I was a good match, that I would most gladly donate one of my kidneys.
While she was doing her test, and towards the end of that process, 2 weeks before the scheduled date for the transplant, I get a call from Transplant Quebec, and they tell me, we have 2 kidneys. Are you a taker? And I said, yes, of course. And they say, in that case, you have to be in the hospital in an hour. And so I call Christine. I tell her, look, I got a call. They have a kidney. So I have to be there within an hour. I'm going. And
Well, and that felt like the earth opened underneath my feet and I was swallowed up. I was grocery shopping. It was a Friday afternoon. Usually Friday afternoons are my favorite time of the week. And well, that kind of was out to heaven on that particular day because it was the worst time of my life. I have to admit it was an absolute low. And I managed to contain my emotion. And it was sad because Serge understood how, I mean, we had an agreement. I knew that he was going to take a deceased donor's kidney if the call came before we had time to have our surgery. And so I know I was competing with this deceased donor that could pop up at any time. I get home, I am devastated beyond, I won't even describe the scene. And I'm upstairs in my room, and then my husband comes in, the phone rang. He says, it's Serge on the phone. And I said, like, okay, he's the last person I want to talk to right now. So it's, please, I got him the hand. And he goes, no, he says it's really important. So I took the call, and he tells me the story. He says, well, they didn't realize when they first called me for this deceased donor that we had a surgery scheduled 2 weeks from now. So he says, what do I do? I said, well, what do you mean, what do you do? I've been telling you for 28 years. I got the clearance. I got the green light. I'm willing and ready to do this. If you want an unbiased opinion, you're asking the wrong person. So what are you waiting for? What are you asking me?
I mean, families that are not united will never unite around that problem, period. But families that are, it's just there. It's obvious. Just move, do something about it.
You know what? I just wanted to get my brother back. It's as simple as that. I knew what he was like before, and he was no longer that person. There was no spontaneity. He couldn't travel. He wasn't himself. He didn't have the energy. I wanted the old Serge back. And this was the solution. It's a simple solution.